tonight. We dance in the dark and your lips land on mine. Oh, gonna get our love on. Oh, time to get our buzz on. All them other boys wanna wind you up and take you downtown, but you look like the kind that likes to take it way down. Out where the cornrows grow, roll my boat, floating down the Flint River. Catch yourself a little catfish dinner. Gonna sound like a winner when I lay you down and love you right. Yeah, that's my kind of night. Yeah, that's my kind of night. That's my kind of night. Yeah, that's my kind of night. Come on.
I'm like, I don't.
And we danced, and we cried,
Outside fine.
and we laughed, and had a really, really, really good time. Take my hand, let's have a blast, and remember this moment for the rest of our lives. Our lives. Our lives. Tonight. Cause tonight's the night, am I right? Dance feels like a night for a party. My nature, so naughty. There's a knock on the door, it's the neighbors. Quit cock blocking, we're having a hoedown. You hose down, don't let me pull my hose out. Cause it's big, long, pink, strong. I've been known to dance like all night long. Grab my hand, play this song. DJ, save my life, come on. Leave your fear back off the wall. Free a beat and pussy pop. If you don't have a pussy, pop a cock into a bullseye. To a bullseye, yeah, danced.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to acknowledge that we're on Treaty 6 and 7 territory, the traditional meeting grounds, gathering place, and traveling route to the Cree, Saulteaux, Blackfoot, Métis, Dene, and Nakota Sioux. We acknowledge all the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit whose footsteps have marked these lands for centuries. In collaboration with the Western Canadian Baseball League, the Sylvan Lake Gulls are very proud to welcome you to Gulls Field at Pogattle Park in Sylvan Lake, Alberta, Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's WCBL regular season game between the Lethbridge Bulls and your Sylvan Lake Gulls. Before our anthem this evening, we draw your attention to home plate. Along with Sully the Gully, Marissa Stryker, there's a very special guest holding the Gulls flag. Let's meet him now. Here's Jared Waldo, your game night host. Jared?
Thank you very much, Joe. Joining me is our crucial diesel Little Leaguer of the game. Everybody say hello to 11-year-old Amy Burton of Bentley. Amy Burton's holding our Gulls flag here tonight and is our crucial diesel Little Leaguer of the game.
Thank you very much, Jared. Have a great game, everyone. We'll introduce you to our umpire crew, the visiting team, and the starting lineup for your Sylvan Lake Gulls shortly. But right now, it's time for the Mobil 1 Lube Express anthems. We ask you to please rise, remove your caps, and join our anthemist here at Gulls Field, Nikhail Vandervlis, for the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner and O Canada.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O
All right, another beautiful night. It looked a little rough. The clouds were rolling in, a little bit of rain fell, but guess what? Mother Nature once again is proving she's a baseball fan. So thank you very much. Now, last night, of course, the Gulls with a 6-5 come from behind win, and we had different umpires, but the same umpires tonight. Okay, we've got Darren Daykinder at home plate. John Oko is covering first base and the right field line, and Corey Davis is covering third base and the left field line. So there you go. There's your umpires for this evening. The Gulls, like last night, I talked to Coach Jason Chatwood, and I said, you know, pretty good team win. You know, you got some timely hitting. You know, Zeroni with the base hit, and some great pitching from Tyler Hampu. He had a totally different perspective. He says, no, we didn't run the bases very well. We got thrown out at home plate, a couple of pass balls. We didn't hit as good as we should have, and our pitching started not very well. But it ended up really good. And I said, well, okay. The coaches got a different viewpoint than I do, and it's probably the more accurate one. So we'll go with the coach right now. So tonight we've got, I love this guy's name, Stephen Hospital is your starting pitcher tonight. And we call him Doc. I went down and asked him about that. And he says, yeah, he grew up in Oakville, Ontario. So he's a big Blue Jays fan, and Doc Holliday, Blue Jay pitcher, was one of his favorites. So there you go. So we'll turn it over to our announcer over here on my left, Joe Whitbread, and we'll get this game underway for you.
Starting lineup for the home team on a gorgeous Saturday night in Sylvan Lake, Alberta. Batting first, playing left field from Santa Barbara City College in California and Foster City, California, number 4, Maddie Fung. The right fielder batting second from Strathmore, Alberta. He attends college in Missouri. Number 33, Caden Cerrone. At second base, batting third from Colby College in Kansas. His home base is Elnora, Alberta. Number 21, Cleary Simpson. The designated hitter batting fourth from Langley, British Columbia. Number 28, Jaden Lamott. The starting catcher for your Gulls bats fifth from Cerritos, California, number 8, Matthew Curata. At third base, batting sixth from North Glen, Colorado, number 10, Michael Polson. The first baseman batting seventh from Las Vegas, Nevada. He attends university in Utah, number 13, Chase Rodriguez. Happy birthday, Chase. At shortstop, batting eighth, and from Riverton, Utah, number 2, Ethan He. The center fielder rounding out the Gulls lineup from Cal State Bakersfield, number 20, Michael Pollard. Ladies and gentlemen, the starting pitcher tonight on the mound and warming up for your Sylvan Lake Gulls from Oakville, Ontario, and the University of Niagara, number 37, Stephen Hospital.
All right, a beautiful night here, Doc Hospital. I'm gonna love seeing that all night long. He starts off on the mound for the Gulls. So you've got Matty Fung in left, Michael Pollard in center, and Caden Cerrone, who had the winning base hit last night in the bottom of the ninth inning out in right field. Michael Polson, Ethan He, Cleary Simpson, and Chase Rodriguez make up the infield. The birthday boy, Chase Rodriguez. Jaden Lamott is our designated hitter, and Matthew Curata is behind the plate tonight. Here comes the first pitch. And that's in there for a strike from Hospital at 91 miles an hour. And if you remember him, he came in a game against Okotoks and pitched very well, or the Edmonton Prospects, mind you. And he pitched very well, and he can bring the heat. But he's got some off-speed touch too. But if you're going to throw in the 90s, you might as well just keep throwing fastballs, right? 0-2 the count on Caleb Haney, who scored 2 runs last night for the Lethbridge Bulls in their 6-5 loss. And he misses just outside with that one. 1-2 the count now. Haney was 1 for 2 last night, and as I mentioned, he scored a couple of runs for the Bulls. Another good crowd out here this evening. They're loving their Gulls baseball. That is fouled back out of play. Count remains at 1-2. And you might notice the absence of another voice here. My co-worker, my partner, Cale Clark, is out doing something. Yeah, there's nobody here. I'm here. And a called third strike on the inside of the plate for a strikeout, the first of the game with the first batter. That's a good way to start for Stephen Hospital. I'll keep calling him Doc, but I'll throw Stephen every so often. This comes up now the second or third baseman, Nick Gravel, who was 1 for 4 last night, scored a run and knocked in a run himself as well. And that, well, I thought that missed inside, but actually hit Gravel on the foot. So he trots down to first base, and there's the first base runner for the Bulls tonight. That brings up last night's designated hitter, Roger Riley. Tonight, he's behind the plate as the catcher. One down here, and we're just underway here at Gulls Stadium at Pagato Park. And that misses outside for a ball. If you have not been to a Gulls game this year, you'll have plenty of opportunity, as the month of July is quite busy. I believe they have 15 home games here. So if you want to get a ticket, I would get on it now, because last night we had just about 1,300. And that's in there for a strike. 1-1 the count on Riley. Yeah, 1296, I believe, was the paid attendance last night. We'll try and keep you up to date also on some of the out-of-town scores as well. And that catches the corner. 1-2 now the count on the Bulls catcher, Riley. That came in at 89 miles an hour. I can't even imagine trying to hit that. And he fouls that up against the screen. Count remains at 1-2. And we were talking to Stephen Hospital last week, and we asked him about a nickname, and one of his teammates jumped in and said, "How about Nurse?" And he went, "Nah." I said, "How about Doc?" He goes, "Oh, okay. I can live with Doc." And throw over to first base there, keeping Nick Gravel close. So Doc it is. A little different lineup tonight for the both the Bulls and the Gulls tonight. Some players you saw last night not here. That is fouled back out of play. A little off-speed pitch, about 80 miles an hour. I think that used to be a fastball for a lot of players. These kids can throw, and they can play some good defense. And I'll apologize right now. We've got a Michael Polson and a Michael Pollard playing for the Gulls tonight, so one of them is going to be mixed up with the other for sure tonight. I would put money on it. That's fouled off towards the Bulls dugout. Stephen Hospital on the mound this evening for your Sylvan Lake Gulls. Matthew Carrata, who's usually at third base, is behind the plate. This is fouled up, and Carrata and Chase Rodriguez, the birthday boy. 21st birthday today. He takes it, and there are 2 down now. And speaking of Chase Rodriguez, his dad, his family is here. His mom and dad, Hector and Pamela, and sisters and aunt are here this evening. And if you're around, if you stick around and listen, Hector Rodriguez will come up and he'll be my guest here in the 4th inning. And he's looking forward to that. He's watched his son play baseball an awful lot, all over the globe. And they do like watching this home network live stream. They love it. Oh, 0-1 the count now on Kyle Turner, the right fielder for the Bulls. Last night he had a single and a stolen base, and that hits the dirt. And Nick Gravel will make his way down to second base. And I'm not an official scorer, so I don't know if you call that a wild pitch or you call that an error on the catcher, but the catcher will tell me it was the pitcher will tell me it was the catcher. So one he is responsible for it. And a swing and a miss there. 1-2 the count now on Turner. And Hospital makes him look foolish on that swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. So a couple of strikeouts that inning for Doc Hospital, and no runs on no hits. One man left on base, and we will have the Gulls coming to bat. That will be Matty Fung, Caden Zeroni, and Cleary Simpson will be your scheduled batters here in the bottom of the 1st inning. Bottom of the 1st inning here at Gulls Stadium at Pugattle Park. The Lethbridge Bulls and the Sylvan Lake Gulls in game 2 of their 3-game weekend set here in Sylvan Lake. Max Benton is the pitcher this evening for the Lethbridge Bulls, and he delivers the first pitch to left fielder Matty Fung for a ball. Missing outside with that one. Hunter Porter is in left field. Noah Rodriguez in center. Kyle Turner in right. Nick Gravel, Tyler Vivier, Caleb Haney, Torin Vasilinek are your infielders. Roger Riley behind the plate and Max Benton on the mound. And he throws that for a strike. 2-1 the count on Fung. And Chris Pepersky is the designated hitter this evening. Fung with a good eye there. That misses low for count. 3-1 now on the Gulls left fielder. And he draws a leadoff walk. That brings up the hero from last night's game, Caden Zeroni, who hit a sharp grounder to shortstop that Vivier bobbled just enough for Jack Shark to get safely to second base, and that scored Clary Simpson from third for the game-winning run. So, and I was talking to Caden before the game as that pitch from Benton misses for ball one, and I said, you showed some pretty good wheels running away from your teammates who were trying to congratulate you. He said, yeah, I'm pretty fast. He says, but they broke my chain. Well, I'm sure somebody will fix it. Well, he hits that one to Vivier, who flips it to second, over to Haney, over to first, and a little delayed call there from John Oko, but the Bulls turn the double play. So Vivier makes up for that little error that he had last night. And they take away the base runner, and that brings up Clary Simpson,
Number 21, Clary Simpson.
who's one of those Gulls that returned to the fold, or the flock, I guess. You want to go with the puns from last year. He is a Central Alberta boy, and he takes that first pitch out in Elnora. He takes it for a ball, for a strike, I should say. And that misses now low, 1-1 to count. Simpson still looking to break out with the bat, though. He's hitting well under 200 right now, and I know he wants to get that average up because he was one of the leading hitters last year on this Gulls team. And so you know it's there, and he knows it's there as well. So 2-1 to count now on the Gulls second baseman this evening. And he watches that go in for a strike at 77 miles an hour. No score here in the bottom of the first inning. 2 out. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Clary Simpson. And he sends that hard shot down to first base, but easily picked up by Torn Vasilenic. He takes it himself. It steps on the bag, recording the out, and that is all she wrote for the Gulls here in the bottom of the first inning. So no runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. After 1 complete, we have no score between the Bulls and the Gulls. Lethbridge coming to bat in the top of the second.
We're already at $2,000 here. We're just getting started. So if you want to purchase some Best of Energy 50/50 tickets, you can do so. You can buy them from any one of our volunteers walking up and down the concourse this evening. They'll be in and out of the stands. We've also got something set up for you if you'd like to purchase that way. Cash, credit, debit, whatever you got. If you want to purchase your tickets, they will accommodate you. And tickets will be on sale until after the 7th inning stretch, and then in the 8th inning, we will pull that ticket. Last night's jackpot was just shy of $5,000. I think we're on a good start to surpass that here tonight. So if you need your tickets, by all means, grab one of our volunteers, and we can hit you up and make it happen. Somebody's walking home with deeper pockets on a Saturday night.
Top of the second inning here at Gulls Stadium. Hunter Porter will lead things off for Lethbridge. He was one of the pitchers that we saw last night, and now he's playing out in left field this evening, which is what a lot of these young guys do. They're not solely into one position. They can play multiple positions. And Hospital delivers that, and he fouls it off down the third baseline. Hospital comes in with an off-speed pitch, 80 miles an hour there. 0-2 the count now on Hunter Porter. And just a reminder again, we are going to have a guest, at least one, maybe two, but one for sure. In the fourth inning, the Gulls first baseman, Chase Rodriguez, whose birthday is today, 21 years old. I think I have socks older than that. And his dad will come up and join us, who's very excited about doing that. 1-2 the count now on Hunter Porter. And that misses low. 2-2 the count now. I'm also trying to track down, I saw, if you know anything about Central Alberta baseball, you know the name Dwayne Lawler. I saw him walking around today. He's doing some stuff with the Gulls tonight, but if we can pry him away and come up here and talk, he'll give some pretty good insight. And we'll see if he can get if we can get some insight or inside information on the head coach of the Gulls, Jason Chatwood, because they're cousins. Doc Hospital on the mound. 3-2 the count right now. And a swing and a miss, and that's the third strikeout of the night here in the second inning for Hospital. Noah Rodriguez, the center fielder, steps to the plate. And if you watched any of the game last night, yep, there goes so we just had a quick shot there. The K's going up on the fence there. Yeah, they're just putting the third one up, so I thought maybe they were a little bit behind. Now, if you watched any of the game last night, if you were here last night or you watched here on live stream, you know that this young man at the plate has a very strong arm. He made some really, really strong throws from center field. And he looked like he wanted to go for that one, but he leaves that to go outside at ball one. Chris Pepersky, the designated hitter, is on deck. And I'm sure I just made a mess of his name, but I apologize. Two 2-0 the count now on Rodriguez. He had a couple of stolen bases last night for the Bulls and scored a run as well. And that misses outside. And the count is now 3-0. And this is always the question. Do you let a guy go 3-0? Let him swing away if it's his pitch? Or do you take the walk early in the game and get a base runner? He was taken all the way. And 4-pitch walk delivered by Hospital. That's the second base runner here early, top of the second inning, both by way of the walk. Chris Pepersky steps in, the designated hitter tonight. Torin Vasilenik is the batter in the on-deck circle. And a swing and a miss there for strike one. And technically there are no circles. They're just kind of standing near the dugout. So and a casual throw over to first to let Rodriguez know that he knows he's there. Rodriguez at first being held on by Rodriguez. And that missed high for ball one. Well, the rain has passed, the sun is shining, clouds are building up in the west, but I think that's a long ways away from us right now. We should be able to get this in without any moisture. And then around 10:30, it can rain. And that is fouled off. 1-2 the count, because I'm sure the farmers, the golf courses, they always love to see the rain. They're all in the same game, it seems. They watch the skies and they hope for the best. And I guess baseball fans do too. Nobody likes to sit through a rain delay. A little voice in my head just said, he does. That would be our producer, director, man of all talents down in the truck, Calvin Bellows. And, of course, his sidekick, his son, Blake, who got a new jersey I saw. Very nice. And that pops out of the glove of Matthew Carrata. 2-2 the count. Last night, Gulls catcher Ben Prediger saw a ball go right through the webbing of his glove, and he didn't have a backup glove, so he had to borrow one, catcher's glove, from one of the pitchers, Jesse Simpson. And I'm trying to figure out, why did the pitcher have a catcher's glove? But he did. And that's fouled back off the screen. But then I also remember last year, one of the catchers for the Gulls, Logan Grant, he had 4 gloves in his bag. He had 2 catcher's mitts, and he had a first baseman's glove, and he had an outfielder's glove. And I said, how often do you use those other 2? It's not very often. And that's fouled back against the screen as well. 2-2 the count remains. Noah Rodriguez over at first after a 4-pitch walk earlier this inning from Doc Hospital. And that is a slow roller down to short. Ethan He up with it. And we're waiting for the signal. There it is. I always wonder what umpires are thinking, why they wait so long to make the call, but everybody's guessing. You got a little drama, I guess. You gotta liven things up a bit. But a good play there by Ethan He as he fires that over to Chase Rodriguez over at first base for the second out, and that moves Nick Rodriguez, or Noah Rodriguez, I should say, over to second base. And Torin Veselanek, the first baseman this evening for the Bulls, steps in to face Hospital. And he takes that first pitch high. No score so far in the top of the second inning. Bulls and Gulls. A little off-speed pitch well outside. 2-0 the count now to Veselanek. Rodriguez with a average lead over at second base. And that pitch is in there for a called strike at 89 miles an hour. Jim Claggett with you here. Flying solo this evening as my partner Cale Clark is playing some music at a wedding for a young couple that just got married. And the check swing. They check down at first base, and first base umpire John Oko says yes, he did go around. 2-2 now the count on Veselanek. 2 down here in the top of the second inning. Stephen Hospital on the mound for your Sylvan Lake Gulls. And he comes with the off-speed pitch, and that's the 4th strikeout of the night for Stephen Hospital. And I'm going to have to say this. Yeah, Doc is delivering. I had to say that. Had a little discussion with home plate umpire Darren Dinkender. Not sure what that was about, but that is the end of the top of the second inning. No runs, no hits, 1 man left on base, and after 1.5, we are scoreless with the Gulls coming to bat. That will be Jake Lamont, Matthew Carrata, and Michael Polson.
Tonight, girl. We're gonna make you well tonight, girl. We're gonna make you feel alright. I came to rock at this party, cause I can make you feel alright. Sweet boy, rock your body, rock it straight through the night. Uh-oh, you want this body? Uh-oh. No, honey, I'm good. I could have another, but I probably should not. I got somebody at home. It's been a long night here.
second inning. To the plate, your Silver Lake Gulls send the designated.
Here we are, bottom of the second. This is the designated hitter, Jake Lamont, facing Max Benton on the mound for the Lethbridge Bulls. And that first pitch is in there for a strike. And a swing and a miss there by Lamont. And he's quickly down 0-2. He's from Langley, BC. I believe there's been a few ball players come out of Langley, BC. And Lamont sends that out to center field, but Noah Rodriguez, who has not only a strong arm, but a good set of wheels as well. And he easily tracks that one down for the first out of the inning. That brings up the catcher, Matthew Carrata. I talked to his dad and his mom and his sister today. They're from California, Orange County, in that area. A couple hours from the Coachella Valley and the Palm Springs area. He takes that first pitch for a strike. And his dad has coached Matthew for quite some time. And so I had to ask him, I said, so what tips do you give him? He said, well, he says, I understand why he plays a little deep over at third base, because off of this infield, he kind of gets on you a little faster than grass. Natural grass, of course. And he said, well, he says, I understand it, but I'd rather see him play a little closer. Said, okay, coach. And he hits that down to shortstop. Vivier up with it and across the diamond over to Vasilenik. And that is the second out of the inning. And tonight it seems like the pitchers have got a little bit of an edge early in the game. This brings up the third baseman, Mike Polson. This is the first time we've seen Mr. Polson play. He's from North Glen, Colorado. And takes that pitch for a strike. Max Benton hasn't had to throw an awful lot of pitches in this game. He's, according to the pitch count, it's at 19 right now. Whereas Stephen Hospital is up at 32 pitches by my count, or 34, I should say. I was never any good at math. I sat way at the back of the class. And Benton delivers a strike there to Polson. So we have Michael Polson at third and Michael Pollard out in center field this evening. And Michael Pollard is a roommate of Matthew Carrata. 2-2 the count now to Polson. 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning. We are scoreless between the Gulls and the Lethbridge Bulls. And that is a little squibber to the mound. Benton up with it over to first base. And 3 up, 3 down for the Gulls as they go no runs, no hits, nobody left on base. And after 2 complete, we are still scoreless. And we'll be back with the top of the third inning as the Lethbridge Bulls come to bat.
Well, good evening, fans. We hope you like our ballpark. With your applause, how many of you are at your very first Gulls game ever tonight? That is amazing. We're glad to have you. And how many of you have been to 1 or 2 or even a dozen or more between last year and this year? Make some noise. It's so great to have you at the ballpark. Obviously, the torrential downpour, for those of you who were part of that earlier, has turned into a great night. We are expecting some potential rain or drizzle later on. But the game must go on, and we can't wait to be a part of it. By the way, tonight's ball game is brought to you by Step Energy Services. Step Energy is a deep capacity coiled tubing, fluid and nitrogen pumping, and hydraulic fracturing solutions provider in North America. And they're based right here in Central Alberta. We are very pleased to have Step Energy step up as the sponsor of tonight's game.
Top of the third inning, and this is the shortstop, Tyler Vivier for the Bulls, followed by Caleb Haney and then Nick Gravel. Several other games going in the WCBL today, and earlier this evening out in Regina, the Edmonton Prospects pounded the Regina Red Sox. 12-1 is the final there. And that pitch is grounded foul by Vivier. Stephen Hospital on the mound. 4 strikeouts so far in 2 innings of pitching. And that is a shot that just gets under the glove of Ethan He at shortstop. And center fielder Michael Pollard will get it into play. So the first base hit of the game, by my count, is a solid single by Vivier. That brings up the top of the order Caleb Haney, who struck out in his first time at bat, facing Hospital. And he lays down a bunt, and that just rolls foul. But it was a pretty good one. Would have been a very close play over at first base. That's one of the things that you do see a little more often, I think, at this level of play. The college guys seem to know how to bunt. The professionals, they don't seem to use that skill very often, especially when they put that shift on. It's like that would be, you know, the simplest way to get on base. But I guess they all like the sound of the ball hitting the bat and sending it deep into the outfield or over the fence. So, and it comes inside with that pitch, just about hit Caleb Haney. But that ball gets past Matthew Carrata, and he's over at second base now. And 1-1 to count now to the Bulls' second baseman. Hits him on right on that pad that they wear on their elbow to protect it from being hit by a pitch. And another base runner there is Stephen Hospital. Walks. That's the third base runner that has been put on without a hit. And that was hit by a pitch. So now runners on first and second for the Gulls here in the top of the third inning, and a little conversation on the mound between Matthew Carrata and Stephen Hospital. That brings up the third baseman, Nick Gravel, who got a walk in his first at bat in the first inning. Hospital in a little bit of trouble here early in the third inning. He squares the bunt and drops down a beauty. Hospital fields it and gets the out over at first, but Gravel does the job, moving Haney over to third, or Vivier over to third, and Haney over to second. And that's one down with runners now in scoring position for the Bulls, and that brings up the catcher, Roger Riley. Other games tonight, the Okotoks Dogs up in Fort McMurray Weyburn Beavers and the Moose Jaw Millers out in Moose Jaw. That is grounded to he over at short. He's up with it over to first, but the run scores from third. And Riley with an RBI on that play. And there's now 2 out. But the run has scored, and the Gulls, or Bulls I should say, take on the lead here in the top of the first inning. They score first. And they also have Caleb Haney over at third base now. And this is Kyle Turner, the right fielder. And Hospital delivers a strike to start things off for Haney, or for Turner, I should say. Medicine Hat and Swift Current are also playing this evening as well. So we'll try and keep you posted on those scores as they come in. And quickly 0-2 on the cleanup hitter for the Bulls. And he lifts that foul and out of play. Count remains 0-2. Scrambled for the baseball. Beautiful night. You sit out on the berm, bring your blanket, bring your lawn chair, whatever. Sit out there, and then, of course, you've got the seats. Get yourself a ticket. There's lots of baseball to be played here at Sylvan Lake. And a swing and a miss and another strikeout for Stephen Hospital. That is 5 on the evening. But the Bulls strike first, scoring a run here in the top of the first inning. And they have a 1-0 lead as the Gulls come to bat in the bottom of the third.
Well, they say a Saturday night is a terrible thing to waste. And I agree. That's why I'm happy you're here at Gulls Field at Pocatello Park. It's the Gulls Pro Crew. It's Marissa, it's Sully the Gully. And our friends at New Force Energy Services have some goodies to give away. And we'd like you to have them. So who wants a little souvenir this evening? Here we go. Come on now. It's Saturday night. All right, Sully, I need to see some arm here. Let's see some. Oh, that's sweet. All right, but you really got to zing this one. Come on, use those gull muscles. Not bad, not bad. Don't add Sully to your disc golf team. All right, here we go. Courtesy of New Force Energy Services, we appreciate you. We'll be back with some more giveaways a little later on. Our boys are going up to bat. How about a go, Gulls, go! Go, Gulls, go!
Bottom of the third inning here at Gulls Stadium at Pocatello Park, and the Lethbridge Bulls striking first with a run in the top of the third inning. And this brings up the first baseman, Chase Rodriguez, who had a good night last night. A couple of base hits, stolen base, and an RBI. And we are now joined by the proud Papa, Hector Rodriguez, and a great play there by Tyler Vivier to rob Chase Rodriguez of a hit. You could have given him a birthday present. Here, I'm going to get you set up. And you just put these on like so. You can adjust it. There you go, sir. Well, welcome to Canada.
Thank you. Thank
Las
you for having
Vegas
me.
isn't, it's not quite as bright as Vegas, is it?
It's not as bright, but it's beautiful. It surely is. It's beautiful.
That's good. Well, we'll get into how you're feeling out here, but we just had a solid hit by your son there, Chase, who you've probably watched him play an awful lot of baseball over the years, I imagine, Hector.
Yeah, we started when he was 6 years old in T-ball and going up through little leagues and club ball and scout teams, and yeah, we've seen a lot of at-bats.
How has he developed as a baseball player?
I think he's over the years, Chase started out being kind of on the small side, and he's grown and gotten really strong over the years. But but I think his mental approach to the game is really just taken through the roof just the last couple of years. Really understands the pitch count and, you know, getting aggressive at the plate and looking for certain pitches.
That's an interesting aspect. We know the physical side, and a called strike there on Ethan He. 3-1 the count now on He. You know, the physical side of the game, the hitting, the running, the catching, the throwing, we get that, but we don't forget about the mental aspect of this game.
Right.
There's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big part.
Yeah, it's a tough game. I mean, because you know you got to be physical, you got to be strong, you got to be sharp, you got to have the skill sets, and then but you have to be able to have the mental approach to the game too. You know, understand the count, the pitchers, what's his go-to pitch. You know, you have to be a student.
Oh, wow. That throws me out. That's why I didn't last any longer. Being a student was never my strong suit. And Ethan He takes a swing at that one and sits down the strikeout from Max Benton. And that brings up Michael Pollard, the center fielder this evening. This is his first at bat of the game here. Bottom of the third inning, the Gulls trail 1-0 to the Lethbridge Bulls. And my guest this evening here is the father of the birthday boy today, Chase Rodriguez. This is Hector Rodriguez, sporting his Gulls T-shirt this evening. You look very sharp.
Which way do I go?
Yeah,
This
right
way?
there. Yeah,
Yes.
there it is.
That's awesome. That's great.
You wear it well, sir.
Thank
wear
you.
it well.
Thank you. Yeah, I was really excited to see the merchandise store here and how incredible the selections of shirts and hats, and it's just, you know, it was great.
That's one of the things I know that the people that run the show here, they've made an impression. And before we get any further with that, nice base hit there by Michael Pollard. A solid single out to left field. That brings up left fielder Matty Fung. But when you look around and you see this stadium, what was your first impression when you walked in and saw the crowd, the field, everything that's going on here?
I tell you, when I pulled up here and I walked through the gates, I said, holy cow, this is just an amazing facility. And I'm a season ticket holder in Las Vegas to the Las Vegas Aviators, the AAA team for the A's, and what a comparison to be able to see here and the product that they put in here, the field, the players, the concessions, and I feel like I'm at a big league game.
Wow.
Yeah, this is just unbelievable. I mean, it's just amazing facilities, you know.
All right. 0-1 the count right now on Matty Fung. That's Michael Pollard over at first base. Max Benton on the mound for the Lethbridge Bulls. And he makes a throw over to first to keep Pollard safe. 2 down here, and the Gulls trying to even the score here. So watching the AAA game and then coming and watching this, is there that massive gap between the talent that you see, or is it maybe a little narrower than we might think?
I think it's narrower than we think, right? I mean, you look at the scoreboard out there and you see the pitcher's velocity, and you know you're only about 1 or 2 miles an hour faster at the next level, at the AAA level. I mean, these guys are throwing 91, 92, 93, and you're seeing some of that here today. You know, these kids are hitting 91 and 92 on that radar gun. You know.
Pollard takes off to try and steal second, and he gets thrown out by Roger Riley, and that brings a close to the inning, the bottom of the third here. The Gulls looking to get on board, but not this inning. They'll have to try again in the bottom of the fourth. But that's the end of 3 complete. The Lethbridge Bulls with a 1-0 lead. We'll be back with more from my guest here, Hector Rodriguez, and of course the Gulls and the Bulls. Top of the fourth. Okay, top of the 4th inning here. And I'll flip my score sheet over. I got to keep up with these things. You know, I usually have my partner Kayla Clark. He's out DJing a wedding tonight, so I got dumped for a bride and a groom. I would almost be insulted, but I'm not. So Stephen Hospital on the mound. He's got 5 strikeouts tonight in 3 innings of pitching. So, but he's also had a little problem with his control. What have you seen? Have you been impressed by Mr. Hospital? As this ball gets lifted up into shallow center field, and that is Michael Pollard closing in on it. Go ahead, Hector. Sorry.
I'm watching it like more from like a coach perspective, and what really impresses me is his location, right? And his, you can see the catcher setting up inside, outside, and he's hitting his spots, and his velocity is there. That it seems like his fastball is kind of sneaky fast, but he's pretty impressive. And he's just got the pitcher's body,
Oh, he does, doesn't
the
he?
long, lanky right-hander that throws pretty hard. I mean, you look at that pitch right there on the outside corner. It's just amazing that he spotted it right there on the black.
Yeah, these guys, they've got a skill level that last year we had an all-Canadian Western Canadian Baseball League, and it was very entertaining. But the influx of American players, and we knew it was going to happen. You can see that level just rise a little bit. Why do you think it's such a difference? I mean, some of these Canadian kids, they go down and play college ball. They're out there for a long time. So what's the difference here?
I think the U.S. players start the game out a lot sooner. They play longer. They get exposed to a lot of coaching, a lot of different talent, and I think sometimes when I look at the Canadian players their skill sets are there, and I just think they just need a little more exposure, maybe at a younger level. And facilities like this.
You recognize that kid?
Yeah, I recognize that. That's my baby there. He turned 21 years old today.
21, can you believe it?
Yeah, it's hard to believe. The time has gone so fast, and if I could say anything to the Little League dads is like enjoy those moments because it goes by really fast.
Well, that's one of the things that we always see in that.
Oh no, that looks like yesterday's play.
Oh no, let's leave that alone. Yeah, we won't touch that one.
Oh, that was setting up a little bit, looking like yesterday. I bet you them guys were thinking about it.
Yeah, for those of you that weren't here last night or watching last night, we had a little Jackson Clement and Jack Shark and Chase Rodriguez all converged out in that same spot, and it was Chase Rodriguez that came up with the ball apparently.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's laughing right now. He's getting flashbacks of last night.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Did you talk to him about that?
Yeah, I did. And it's like, as a coach, I said to Chase, I says, did anybody call it?
Yeah.
It's like, he goes, yeah, Dad. He goes, we all called it at the exact same time.
Oh, no.
I said, oh, now I know what happened.
There you go. I thought it was one of those, I got it, you take it sort of thing, and then nobody wanted it. So and then one guy stepped up. But I know I talked to Jack Shark after the night. He said, I thought I had the ball.
Yeah.
He said, the umpire's asking me, show me the ball.
Yeah.
And I said, I looked at my glove, I don't have it.
Right.
She said, I got it. So there you go. But he's not the worst for wear. That's good.
I kind of felt bad for the umpire. He had 3 players down. He called the out, and he didn't know what to do, to go to which player and help anybody. And the trainers and the staff got out there pretty quick and got these boys back on the field.
So you can talk up your son now. What's the strength of Chase's game, do you think?
I think Chase defensively, he is amazing. I think he's got the greatest hands I've seen and not because I'm dad. I just think he's got great feet and great hands, and lately he's been swinging for power, and I think, overall the team I watched this team hit batting practice today, and these kids could stroke a baseball.
Oh yeah.
And when these guys get hot, they're going to put some runs on the board.
That's what I hear. That's what the coach is looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to put some runs on the board.
This is grounded over to third base, and Michael Polson fires it over. 3 up, 3 down this inning. The top of the 4th is we put a close on that, and at the end of 3 1/2. The Bulls still hold on to that 1-0 lead with the Sylvan Lake Gulls coming up to bat in the bottom of the 4th inning. If you want to stick around for one more, you can, Hector, or if you want to join your family.
No, I'd love to stick around for one more. This is great.
You're probably wondering, where is he now?
Yeah.
Mind
No.
you, we did tell Pamela that you were coming.
Yeah. No, she blessed us. She gave me some pointers. She told
did
me,
she? Well, what did she tell you to do?
She said, make sure you use the appropriate words.
yeah, I think we covered that. Yeah.
She says,
That's good. Well, so far I haven't had to hit the mute button.
right.
So
Yeah, so the mute button.
there's no beeps yet so far. Well, I'll be honest. I did drop one just the other night, there, just by accident, and I should know better after being a veteran in the business. But
Right.
it happens every so often. So
One sneaks out.
it does sneak out. So do you recognize, like, watching Chase play? Do you know some of the other players from the other teams that maybe he has played against down in the States?
No, I haven't seen too many of them. I know there's a kid on this team that Chase knows. Obviously, the shortstop, Ethan He, goes to Dixie State, which is actually Utah Tech now, formerly Dixie State. They played together. They came out here together, but he hasn't run into any kids that he knows yet.
Oh, okay.
But I tell you that the mixture of the American kids and the Canadian kids is really it's kind of really unique, and I think Chase loves that international exposure to be with these other kids and experience some of their cultures.
You know what, and that's what this is all about. It is an experience, especially for some kids that maybe haven't seen a place like Sylvan Lake.
Yeah.
And you've got everything here.
I could tell you that they're not going to see a place like Sylvan Lake. This facility is absolutely amazing.
That is good to hear.
It's amazing. I mean,
that's really good to hear.
You look around, and I went by the little kiddie section over there in left field, and it's totally enclosed, and the kids are playing ball and wiffle ball and kickball, and it's just a great little atmosphere, and it's like, it's amazing.
Isn't that something, eh? Bottom of the 4th inning there, Gulls trailing 1-0. Matty Fung at the plate, and he squibs one down the first baseline, and it just rolls foul. The count 1-2. Max Benton has been he's been pretty much in control for the Lethbridge Bulls tonight. He hasn't really given up anything really solid other than that first base hit to Michael Pollard.
Yeah, he's a crafty. He's a crafty a right-hander. Doesn't throw really hard. Changes speeds well, and hits his spots. He's a crafty guy. He could wear a coach out. He could wear a coach out for sure.
How would he wear him out?
Well,
explain that one.
It's you got a guy who has a little zip but changes speeds, has a great curveball, and he moves the ball around the zone. And I mean, you're sitting there on the third base coaching box, and you guys could swing it, and they just they're struggling. I mean, you look at that pitch, the board says 85, and that's a setup pitch right there.
Okay.
He set him up here to move his eyeballs to the outside, and there it was, right?
Yeah, there it was.
So it's
you know your ball.
Yeah,
there,
he's a crafty right-hander. You come, you get to the ballpark, and you think you're going to rake on a guy like this who doesn't have high velocity, but he sets you up and he moves the ball around the plate. He's a good pitcher.
Now this is the hero from last night, Caden Zeroni, the right fielder, who stroked the single or the hit out to shortstop that Vivier bobbled just enough to allow Jack Shark to reach second safely, and he takes that first pitch for a strike.
What a great game that was. Huh?
Wasn't that something?
That was a great game. It was a great game. We were behind, and we caught up, and we tied the game, and won it in the bottom, and it was just a great game.
And I know myself, and that's grounded down to first base, and Torin Vasilanic will take that himself to record the second out. 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. I know last night, watching Tyler Hampu pitch, he came in and just shut things down.
Shut the door.
That was pretty impressive, wasn't it?
That was. He came in and he said, "Give me the ball," and he just shut him down. And that's what you want, right?
That's right. Here's some local product just down the road.
Yeah.
East of us, Elnora, Alberta, and this is Clary Simpson, who, as I mentioned, is still trying to find his way. He's got solid defensive skills, and we know he's got some offense because he has okay, last year he was playing with this team. He had their first base hit. He had their first home run. He had their first stolen base.
Wow.
So he's a man of firsts.
Nice.
But he doesn't play first base, I don't think. And he takes a good cut at that one, and even the count at 1-1. So as a pitcher, or as a coach, I should say, and you know a little bit obviously about the game. You know, hearing you talk, I could just turn my mic off and let you go, kind of thing.
No, don't do that. Please don't do that.
But what I'd like to know is, we always hear on the professional level, is like, okay, it's a pitcher's count or it's a hitter's count. What exactly does that mean, do you think?
You know, what happens is that when a pitcher's count is a count where a pitcher doesn't have to throw a strike.
Okay.
Right? He doesn't have to throw a strike. He has some room for error, right? You know, you look at some counts 0-2, 1-2, where the pitcher has an opportunity to, you know, set up a batter. And if we look back a few batters, you know, the count was 1-2, and he threw that little off-speed pitch a little bit outside, moved his eyeballs, and then he came in with that curveball, and it was, you know, froze him, you know.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, once you get behind in this game, 0-2, 1-2, it's a hard journey to get back out.
Yeah, well, and there you go. And Max Benton is just quietly going about his business as he sits down Clary Simpson with a strikeout. And after 4 complete, there was no runs, no hits, nobody left on base for the Gulls. We are through 4 complete here at Gulls Stadium at Pagano Park. And the Gulls trail the Lethbridge Bulls 1-0. My thanks to Hector Rodriguez. Thank you, sir, for
Thank
so
you for
much.
having me. I appreciate it. And the hospitality out here at Silver Lake has been amazing.
Well, come back anytime.
Thank you, sir.
All right, you can go join your family now.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
We haven't kidnapped you. We'll be back with the top of the 5th after this.
How about a round of applause for Trinity? Trinity is going to do her best. Sounds like she was a runner in a former life. We're going to find out. All right, Trinity, I'm going to tell you to go. I'm going to count you down, give you 3, 2, 1, go. And then Snapman's going to follow. We're going to give her a bit of a head start, but not too much of one. All right, when you're ready, in 3, 2, 1, go! Go! Come on, Trinity, come on! And at the end, it's Snapman. A valiant effort. How about a round of applause for Trinity here this evening? The Snapman brought to you by Snap Fitness Silver Lake. And we'll be back tomorrow afternoon. Hey, bring your running shoes. We may tap you on the shoulder.
Now batting for the Lethbridge Bulls, the first baseman, number 7, Torin Veselina.
Well, my thanks to Hector Rodriguez for taking the time away from probably having a nice cold beverage and coming up here and sharing his insight. And I think you probably learned an awful lot like I did. That's for sure. So here we are in the top of the 5th inning. And this is Torin Veselina, who struck out back in the 2nd inning, and he takes that first pitch for a strike. Max Benton, like I said, he's just rolling along for the Lethbridge Bulls, but so is Stephen Hospital. He's got 5 Ks, I think, yeah, 5 or 6 Ks here. 5, I think. I'm trying to see over there, yeah. And another strike there for 0-2. The Gulls trailing, though. They can't seem to, they've got 1 base hit tonight. That was back, I'm going to check my notes here. Yeah, that was in the 3rd inning. Michael Pollard with a base hit, but it amounted to nothing. And another strikeout for Stephen Hospital, who is definitely finding the mark right now. Well, that brings up shortstop Tyler Vivier, who reached on a base hit back in the 3rd inning. And then a pass ball got him over to 2nd, and then he scored on a base hit by Caleb Haney. That's the only run of the game so far. And Hospital has pretty much been in control of this game. Other than that, just that 1 inning where he gave up, he hit a batter and gave up a single. So that's pretty much the only damage there. And that's only one hit as well. So this is over to the shortstop, Ethan He, right into his glove. And that records the second out. 2 down now here in the top of the 5th inning. Lethbridge with a 1-0 lead. And the top of the order, Caleb Haney, the second baseman, steps in. He got hit by a pitch back in the 2nd inning and struck out in the 1st. And Haney fouls that off. First pitch from Doc Hospital. And that misses low for ball 1. The Lethbridge Bulls are 4-9 on the year right now in the West Division of the Western Canadian Baseball League. Okotoks leading at 10-1. The Gulls are right behind him at 9-4. The Edmonton Prospects with a win tonight, even their record at 7-7. Fort McMurray, who handed Okotoks their very first loss on the season the other night, 5-6 on the record. And the Brooks Bombers are in the basement of the Western Division at 2-8. And Hospital misses inside with that pitch. 3-1 the count now on Caleb Haney. There's a nice big cloud moving in from the west. And it's kind of staying out there. That is grounded slowly to Ethan He. He's going to have to hurry. And not in time, as Caleb Haney can certainly move down that first baseline, and that was just a little too slow of a roller to Ethan He for him to get on that and get it over to first base fast enough. But so another base hit there for the Lethbridge Bulls. That brings up the third baseman, Nick Gravel, who walked in the first inning and then grounded to the pitcher, I'm going to say Doc Holliday. See, there I go. I knew I was going to say that. Doc Hospital. Remember, Doc Hospital. And he starts Gravel off with a strike, 85 miles an hour. I'm looking over to my right to see if Hector Rodriguez would tell me, is that a setup pitch? I'd ask him. He probably would have an answer. His breadth of knowledge of the game of baseball was very evident in that little chat that we had. And much appreciate. This is lifted out to center field, and Michael Pollard doesn't have to move. He just watches it land into his glove. And that is the end of the inning. No runs on 1 hit and 1 man left on base. And after 4.5, Lethbridge holding on to that tenuous 1-0 lead against the Sylvan Lake Gulls. The Gulls need to get on the bats right away in order to make it 2 in a row over the Lethbridge Bulls. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th after this.
Now batting for the Gulls, the designated hitter, number 28, Jaden Lamont.
We are in the bottom of the 5th inning here at Gulls Stadium at Pagattle Park, and Jaden Lamont steps in to face Max Benton, who has pretty much kept things in check for the Lethbridge Bulls as the Sylvan Lake Gulls have only managed the 1 hit tonight. And Coach Jason Chatwood told me earlier before the game, he said, we need to get on the bats. It's starting to come, but it needs to come a little faster and in bunches, not just spread out, you know, over a couple of innings kind of thing. So it'll be interesting. Oh, and that pitch was, I'm going to say that was not just a little outside, but I've got a different angle than home plate umpire Darren Dakinder. That's for sure. I give him that. And it's a tough job, let me tell you. 86 miles an hour and trying to pick up the ball. I get it. But that was a good pitch by Max Benton, but off the plate kind of pitch. But still gets the strikeout, and that brings up the catcher, Matthew Carrata. He grounded out to short back in the 2nd inning. Fouls that first pitch off. Cerritos, California. Not sure where Cerritos is. Oh no, wait a minute. Now I do know. It's in Los Angeles. It's in Orange County. His dad told me that. I should write these things down. That's what my wife keeps telling me. Write stuff down, Jim, because if you don't write it down, you know what's going to happen. And it just did. So there you go. 0-2 the count on Carrata. Bottom of the 5th inning here. And he drives that sharply into right field. And there's the second base hit of the game for the Gulls, courtesy of Matthew Carrata. That brings up third baseman Michael Polson. Carrata gets his gummy over at first base. I think it's gummies. I'm not sure. They might be doing something different tonight. I don't know. I'll have to get to the bottom of that. Cabbage Patch Kids is what Calvin Bellows just told me. Hey, thanks, Calvin. Maybe just give them cold French fries. Sour Patch. Yeah, I was going to say Cabbage Patch. Wait a minute, they're feeding them dolls? I don't think so. 0-1 the count right now on Michael Polson. One down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Carrata's got a pretty good lead over there, so Max Benton pays attention to that and fires it over. And mercifully for me in this booth, the sun has gone behind the clouds, so I can stand a little closer to the window here. And that's right back up the middle. Easy double play here as Vivier steps on the bag. Oh! And Corin Vasilenic had that in his glove and dropped it. So that is an error on the first baseman. But the out is made over at second base as Vivier stepped on the bag, fired it over, and Polson remains on the base over at first base as an error over to the first baseman. This brings up young Chase Rodriguez. Well, not so young anymore. He's now legal all over the world at 21 years old. I'm sure his dad is happy about that too. I meant to ask him about that. And he takes that first pitch for a strike. Very pleasant young man, Chase Rodriguez. And as his dad said, he's got some skills. And if he started out small, you got to meet this young man face to face because he's got a powerful build. And we want to see him break out with the bat now. He did last night with a couple of base hits and a stolen base, I believe. Yep. And 2 singles and a stolen base and knocked in a run. And that is, I don't think that was setting up anything. Max Benton's pointing to himself, saying, "Yeah, I didn't really mean to throw it that far outside." I think he was looking for something a little closer to home plate. Well, 1-2 the count now on Chase Rodriguez. 2 down here. Michael Pollard over at first base, and check swing on that. And I think Roger Riley thought he might have tip fouled that into his glove, and so he put the tag on him, but it did not happen. 2-2 the count. Las Vegas, Nevada. And a swing and a miss there. And another strikeout for Max Benton. That's 5 on the night for him. So we are through 5 complete. And the Gulls trail the Lethbridge Bulls 1-0 as we have a pitcher's duel here between Max Benton of the Bulls and Stephen Hospital of the Sylvan Lake Gulls. So we'll be back with the top of the 6th inning right away.
At the end of the night, someone's walking away with half of that, the other half going towards the Gulls Gift Foundation. And a reminder, the Gulls Gift Foundation is hosting a golf tournament in July 29th to be exact. If you want to get in on that, you can do so at sylvanlakegulls.com. We also have some sponsorship opportunities available if you want to get more involved a little bit deeper. You can find Tom waiting here at the ballpark, where you can email advertising at sylvanlakegulls.com.
$3,200 is the Vesta Energy 50-50 jackpot, and that's going to rise before we pull a ticket in the 8th inning.
Touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe there never was, but now I look at the night and it don't seem so
Top of the 6th inning coming up here, and we have a change at catcher. For some reason, Matthew Carrata is out of the game right now, and last night's catcher, Ben Prediger, is got the tools of ignorance on, and I call that in a nice way, and Ben knows that. Every catcher knows what those are called, because you got to wonder why a guy wants to stand behind there and get all those foul tips off your fingers and your shins and your feet and everything else. But he is in the game now for Matthew Carrata. And the first pitch here to Roger Riley is a strike by Stephen Hospital, who's just rolling along, just giving up the 2 hits here tonight. And the 1 run. This is lifted out into center field, and Pollard settles underneath it and records the out. There we go, 1 down here in the top of the 6th inning. That brings up Kyle Turner, the right fielder. He's 0 for 2 on the evening with a couple of strikeouts. And he's not alone. There's been 6 of those strikeouts, and Turner's had 2 of them. And he sends that one down to second base, and Simpson up with it over to first. And we are quickly down 0-2, or 2 batters or 2 outs. Get it right, Jim. There we go. The words will come eventually. That's what they keep telling me. Hunter Porter steps in. He is the left fielder tonight. Quickly catching you up on some out-of-town scores. Weyburn Beavers lead the Moose Jaw Miller Express 2-0 right now. And they are in the, they're delayed due to rain. Top of the 5th, or top of the 6th, of course, we are here with the Gulls and the Bulls, 1-0. And the top of the 2nd, Medicine Hat Mavericks and Swift Current 57s have turned on the offense. They're in the top of the 2nd. It is 6-4 Medicine Hat over Swift Current. And the bottom of the 4th inning up in Fort McMurray, Okotoks leads the Fort McMurray Giants 4-0. So we'll try and keep you, like I say, posted on those out-of-town scores. 0-2 the count here on Hunter Porter. 2 down in the top of the 6th inning. And that is fouled up against the screen.
That foul ball brought to you by Clearview Glass.
And Hospital comes in with a little off-speed pitch there. 1-2 the count. Now that would have been the pitcher's count that Hector Rodriguez was talking about. 0-2. Doesn't have to throw a strike. Throw something that looks kind of close to the plate. Maybe the guy will swing at it or foul it off or pop it up. And he swung at that one. And there's another strikeout for Doc Hospital. And his catcher, Ben Prediger, comes out. They're putting another K up there. And there is a little action in the Gulls bullpen. Brian Cross was warming up. But Stephen Hospital seems to have things under control right now. Giving up just the 2 hits and the 1 run. And his teammates are all giving him the fist bumps and the high fives, saying, you know, keep it going, and we'll try and get some bats going for you right now in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll be back with that bottom of the 6th. Stay tuned. Bottom of the 6th inning here. Gulls coming to bat. We have Ethan He, Michael Pollard, and Matty Fung are the scheduled batters in this inning. The Gulls with just a couple of hits tonight, and they need to get on the bats as quick as possible. I don't think Coach Chatwood wants them to wait like they did last night. And right away, Ethan He sends one deep to left field, and that is a circus catch out in left field by Hunter Porter. He's taking a deep breath right now. He's kind of looking over at center field going, I had that all the way, man. Come on. I had it tracked. I'm just making it a little exciting. I think his heart's beating a little faster. Yep. He's making a face. What was that about? Call me? I'm not sure what that was, but that was a nice catch there. Ethan, he put a charge into that one, but just not far enough. So that's the first out of the inning. Max Benton still hanging in there. He's just having a little, almost like a Sunday afternoon cakewalk as far as the number of pitches go. He's at 58 right now. This is the center fielder, Michael Pollard, who had one of the base hits back in the 3rd inning and then got erased on a double play. Oh no, stolen base. I'm sorry. He tried to steal second and got thrown out by Roger Riley, who showed a pretty good arm on that play. 3-0 the count right now on Pollard. A base runner is a base runner is a base runner right now for the Gulls, and I'm not sure. Again, I could see that left-hander's batter's box, and that ball came on the inside of that line. So I'm not going to call balls and strikes from up here, though. And that was almost the same pitch, but it is a ball, and Pollard draws the base on balls, and that brings up the top of the order Matty Fung, who grounded up to short and struck out back in the 4th inning. 0 for 2 on the evening for the Gulls left fielder. Pollard with a decent lead right away over at first. Max Benton didn't even take a look at him over there. I'm not sure if Roger Riley is going to talk to him about the pitch or if he's going to talk to him, hey, remember, we got a guy over on first. We should probably take a look at him. Or they could be deciding what they're going to have to eat for supper tonight. We've learned that from former Gulls catcher Logan Grant, who went out there sometimes just to ask, hey, where do you want to go for something to eat after the game? He was pretty casual. I have to admit, he was pretty laid back, that young man. 1-0 the count on left fielder Matty Fung from Foster City, California. Well, Darren Dakinder is calling that inside pitch somewhat consistently right now. So, and he's calling for both teams, I guess. 1-1 the count there, and that's that called strike. And Fung lifts this one into shallow left field. That is tracked down by Hunter Porter. And Michael Pollard has to retreat back to first base. And that is 2 down with Caden Zeroni stepping to the plate to face Max Benton, who's had a very good evening, a good strong outing. The Bulls there's no action in their bullpen. And there's no reason to. 65 pitches here into the 6th inning. That's a pretty low pitch count. And a throw down to first base on the called first strike. We have another guest coming to join me. We'll turn his microphone on here. Actually, we'll wait until the end of the inning, and then we'll get them all set up, and we'll tell you who our special guest is here. And a swing and a miss there by Zeroni. The count 0-2 now. Bottom of the 6th inning. Gulls trailing the Lethbridge Bulls 1-0 here at Pagato Park, Gulls Stadium. Clouds rolling in on the west, but they're far enough away from the ballpark right now. And a strikeout there for Max Benton, who has just been very efficient with his pitches tonight. We'll be back with the top of the 7th inning and a special guest to help carry me through the next inning or so. Stay tuned.
All right, folks, time to look to the skies, just not to the west. If you're going from a crew up here in the Gull's Nest, we got a little thing. We're doing some gull droppings. We got some special friends to help us out here tonight. Over here to my left, to my right, get a little something for ya. The Sully's down to the far end over there. Letting them drop down. And just a reminder, after the game, Pure Orthodontics is bringing everybody on the field to run the bases. So if you grab something there, oh wait, I got something in my pocket. Oh, who wants this? Oh wait, I got 2 more. There we go. Hey, there we go. All right, we'll be back a little later on. Enjoy the game, folks.
Now batting for the Lethbridge Bulls, the center fielder.
All right, here we are, top of the 7th inning here at Gull Stadium, and the batter tonight is center in this inning to start this off is the center fielder Noah Rodriguez. Joining me in the booth to help me along here, if you know anything about Central Alberta baseball, you know this man. Dwayne Lawler is here. Thank you for coming up here and making it away. You were working a little bit tonight, weren't you?
Yeah, I was filling in. My daughter's off playing, so I got her spot in the staff today.
Because that's what you do, is you watch your daughter play baseball, and right now she's sitting on pins and needles, isn't she?
Yeah, tonight is the night before cut down date at Softball Canada national team tryouts. So
wow,
she's first time at Softball Canada, so we'll see how it goes.
Proud papa, aren't you?
It's pretty neat.
That's pretty neat, yeah. Well, what do you think of this? Is this pretty neat too? This stadium and this team and this support from the crowd.
This is spectacular what the Gulls have got going here. It's been a long time coming in Central Alberta. We've had great baseball, but the people have really taken to this, and it's wonderful to see.
Now you've played a pretty good level of baseball throughout your years. I won't say how old you are because I don't know, and that's probably going to keep that a secret. I know you will. So, but you've seen a good quality of baseball and played a good quality of baseball. Where do you measure this as?
This is like a decent level of college baseball that we have here happening. The pitching's pretty good. Guys are mid to upper 80s at times, and right now they seem to be ahead of the hitters most nights here. So hopefully the hitters will get caught up as the summer goes along.
That's it. And is that a kind of a natural thing for teams? Is the pitchers take over right away, and then the batters kind of catch up or have to catch up?
Yeah, the hitters have to catch up. A lot of them haven't seen these pitchers before, so the first time you see them, it's a little tough. So
yeah,
as they go to work and see them 2 or 3 games in the summer, the runs production should improve.
Well, surprise, surprise here, another strikeout for Stephen Hospital. And they're putting the K's up. I hope they have enough over there because I think that's 8 now on the evening. He just seems to be able to deliver. His nickname now is Doc. And he grew up in Oakville, and Doc Holliday was one of his favorites. So he said, yeah, that's a natural.
Yep.
What do you make of this young man?
He's consistent. He's been very efficient, 86 pitches into the 7th inning. So we'll see how long Jason lets him go. It'd be nice to see him get into the 8th or 9th inning.
And this
is so far he's deserved it.
Yeah, Ethan He picks up that shot from Chris Propinski. And I knew I was going to butcher his name at some point along the line. So 2 down here in the top of the 7th inning. When you look around and you see, the American players come in. I was talking to Chase Rodriguez's dad, Hector, and down in Vegas, and he said, these young kids, these American kids, they seem to start at an earlier age than the Canadian players. Do you agree with that statement, or would you say no? We start about the same time.
Well, we start about the same age. They just play more games, so their game experience increases much quicker than we get up here.
Okay.
A player out of Las Vegas could probably play 150 games in a year. That'd be a lot, but they play. They can start in February.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they really have to stop playing in Vegas.
No, I guess not. No.
they would, but yeah, they can. They get a lot of games, and they just seem to have a little more drive to be top-level baseball players than most Canadian kids.
Do you think that's good for a young kid though to play a lot of the one sport or kind of thing, or should they spread it around, or how do you feel about that?
I'm a big fan of kids playing multiple sports. Yes, you can be a very refined player at age 15 or 16 if you concentrate on one, but the potential for injury seems to go up.
Okay.
And you just become a better athlete by playing more sports, and eventually whoever the better athlete is should take over.
Transferable skills is the word I always hear. This is hit sharply down the third base and just gets under the glove of Michael Polson out to left field for a base hit there by Popinski. Yeah, transferable skills. I mean, you play one like you play lacrosse or you play basketball, and you've got a daughter that played basketball as well at a pretty high level. She's out in Saskatoon, is she not?
No, she's the one that went to Boise.
Went to Boise.
I got 2 others playing in U Sports, so
okay, I can't keep up.
We got a basketball family.
I can't keep up with your sports involvement with all your children, kind of thing. But has it helped her? She played baseball as well, did she not? Yeah. And did it help her in the basketball side or not at all?
Yeah, it does, because you learn how to compete. Like baseball's a team sport, but there's a lot of individual involved too. So
yeah,
you learn how to handle yourself and deal with things where you can't look anywhere but at yourself if something didn't go your way.
That's right. That's right. Well, there you go. I appreciate you coming up here for the 7th inning there, Dwayne. Your thoughts on the game tonight? Like you said, bats. What does Coach Chatwood have to say? I mean, that's your cousin, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How does he coach?
He's going to have to stir up the bats. He's going to have to go and knock some lumber around down there in the dugout. Or really, he's got to get a couple of guys to come up and just square up a ball and get a couple of base hits. Looks like occasionally they get some guys try and drive the ball out of the park like they're going to win it with one swing. And this is a big diamond. You got to hit it real well to get it out of here. So hopefully he can convince them to just come and get a couple back-to-back singles and put some pressure on and maybe get a couple of runs across.
He looks pretty relaxed, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's second year doing this, so he's coached for enough years now that he's starting to understand that they're not trying to struggle. It's just the way it is. So that's sometimes hard to learn.
Did you ever play against him?
No.
No, never at all. Not even in like a fun game or anything.
Not that I can remember. We were teammates for a few years on the riggers.
On the riggers, yeah, of course.
And but other than that, we teach together now.
Okay.
Jason's the head coordinator of the baseball academy at St. Joe's, and I go in and work with the players as part of his coaching staff. So it's fun to be there every day.
How is the academy going this year?
It's going very well.
Yeah.
We got a full house there. We lose a whole bunch of grade 12s at the end of this year. They were one of the early classes, so we will get a bunch of new bodies in next year. And right now it's going very well, and Jay's been real successful getting guys an opportunity to play baseball beyond playing midget and Red Deer. So it's wonderful, the number of kids that are getting a chance to go to college and get some athletic money as baseball players.
Here's a young man you might be familiar with, Cleary Simpson. Do you know anything about Cleary?
Cleary did go to St. Joe's for a couple of years. I remember him coming up through Red Deer Minor Baseball, and he's had 3 good years, including the COVID year, down at Colby. So he's looking to move to a 4-year school. I think he's going to Northern Kentucky.
He rips this deep to center field, but Noah Rodriguez really knows how to play that position well. He's a pretty solid player, isn't he?
Yeah, he's making it look easy out there in center. He gets great reads on the ball, and his footwork to get good jumps looks pretty good.
Yeah. Wait, can you hang around till the end of this inning, Dwayne, or do you need to
go
check to see if you have any notes from your daughter?
No, I don't have anything on the docket right now. I can stay another inning.
Okay, we'll get you to hang around here. I got to keep score here now. That's the thing as a scorer, I guess. I'm not the official scorer, but at least I try and keep track of what's going on here. So this is Noah Hull is stepping into bat for Jake Lamont. I talked about the influx of the American players and how it's brought the level up as far as the baseball quality here at Gulls Stadium. You agree with that as well?
Yeah. You just have more kids with college baseball experience. And that's the big thing about this league. It's designed to give that college level baseball player an opportunity to work throughout the summer and improve their game and eventually end up at the highest level that's going to be available to them.
Now, does it? And this is kind of a low-hanging fruit, softball question kind of thing. But are you surprised by the amount of support that the community of not only just Sylvan Lake but Central Alberta has given this franchise in their second year?
It's been spectacular from what I've seen. We probably have 1,200 to 1,300 people here in the park tonight, and they've done a great job of promoting the product. And with the turf field and the new facility, people want to come and see it. And rainouts are tough. So with the turf, you don't get rained out very often unless we're in the middle of a downpour.
That's true.
So it's good for the attendance that you're pretty much assured the game's going to happen.
That's it. And we won't say the RAIN word because we are in the bottom of the 7th inning. These guys are really motoring along. It's been pretty much a pitcher's duel, but there's some nasty looking clouds over to my right there. Yeah, there's a shot of it. Yeah, don't look too good right now. There's an even worse one further right than that shot that we just got from our camera. But Noah Hull, this foul down the left field line. Ryan Redeman is warming up, by the way, in the Gulls bullpen, and they've got one player out in the Bulls bullpen as well. He's warming up as well because Max Benton really has not had a tough night tonight. 74 pitches in 7 innings.
Into the 7th, yeah. He's been incredibly efficient, and this might be the first walk of the ball game. Just there you go. As we're talking about his efficiency and how good he's been throwing the ball, so hopefully he gets it back together. But nice to see the Gulls put a run on the board here.
Why not, right? Let's see. That's Blades Strelzik is warming up over in the bullpen for Lethbridge. They hold on to that 1-0 lead, and we've got Ben Prediger, the catcher from last night, who busted a glove last night, ripped through his webbing, and he rips that one out into center field, and that gets past Noah Rodriguez. And Noah Hull is, well, he's a first baseman and he's a big kid. he made it down. He's got a smile on his face. He said, "Coach, no way I was going home on that. You didn't even have to put the stop sign up, right?" Would you have sent him?
Not on that one. The center fielder had a shot at it, so he had to stop just before he got to second base and make sure the ball landed. But it would have been nice to see him run a little harder into third base to give Jason a chance to send him if he felt like that was a possibility.
If he felt like it, yes. But now I always hear this rule of thumb kind of thing, and coach for Lethbridge is coming out to have a little chat with Max Benton, and I'm not sure if Strelzik is ready to come in right now, but he's just going to have a little talk with him to settle him down. I always hear this statement from baseball aficionados that you don't want to make your first or your last out of third base. Is that
Correct.
hold true all the time, or are there chances where you say, you know what, we got to go?
Sometimes you just go for it if you need to get some excitement on the team, or you got a guy who can run the bases, and you kind of surprise an outfielder. Sometimes you can get away with it, but with nobody out, if you're at second base, you got a good chance to score.
Yeah.
Just about as good a chance if you're at third base with nobody out. So that's a normal kind of thought pattern of most coaches.
This is Michael Poulsen stepping in to face Max Benton. He takes that first pitch for a strike. 1-0 Bulls lead it, but we have base runners on second and third here with one down in the bottom of the seventh. Base hit will score one for sure, possibly two. Depends on where it goes and who it goes to. Because we know Noah Rodriguez has a very strong arm out in center field. We saw that last night, the evidence of that. He's a good ball player. There's some really good ball players in this league. The league has had a lot of. We got a little discussion here. What do you think? What do you think your cousin's wanting to talk about? That outside pitch?
No, he just brought a pinch runner into third base.
Oh, I see.
Increase the possibility of this run scoring.
Oh, okay, he didn't. Noah got us there, and then he brought in. I'm going to take a quick peek here, and that is. Well, that's Jake Finkelstein, pitcher. That's it. I never recognized. He had a beard last time I saw him, and he's clean shaven now. So he's looking around and saying, I don't run bases. What are you doing? Throw me in here. So
he does have his shoes tied up, so he might not have been that surprised by the move.
So in he goes, right? You got shoes on and they're tied. In you come, right? Oh, that's an interesting way of looking at it. Michael Poulsen, 0-2 the count on him. This might be. Now that pitch has been called a strike a lot of times tonight. This time it's a ball, so I'm not sure if the umpire Dakinder is narrowing his strike zone as we get later into the game. Do you think that happens when they narrow their strike zone a little bit, or do they widen it as they get later into the game in your experience?
As a hitter, it depends.
Oh, a great stab at
play.
second base, and they're going to double up Finkelstein over at third. Oh my goodness! There's Caleb Haney showing the leather right there, and and Finkelstein had to go. I mean, a hard hit ball, you're going, right?
Yeah, you're getting your secondary lead, and on a line drive, you're probably not getting back.
You're probably not getting back. So was that the right play, or do you hang close and make sure it goes through?
Well, it would depend what they had on. If they had the contact play on, and you get a ball like that off the bat, you're going to try and score.
You're going to go.
If you're playing through, which I don't know the signs, so I can't tell you what they were doing. If you're playing through, then you made a mistake. But I think they were probably on a contact play and trying to force the issue and get a run across, because they haven't had very many opportunities tonight. The Gulls have been in tough. Had a great performance by the Bulls pitcher.
There we go. All right, Mr. Lawler, I'll let you get back to nice shoes, by the way, bright orange. Holy smokes, you can't lose you in the dark at all.
No, these ones are a little exciting.
A little exciting. Thanks, Wayne. I really appreciate you sharing your insight on this game, and good luck to your daughter, and hope she makes the national team in softball.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the phone call is tomorrow.
Perfect.
Well, right now, she's hoping nobody knocks on her door.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's what you don't want to hear.
You
right?
don't want somebody to knock on your door on cut down day.
You want the phone call.
Yeah.
You're on the team.
Yeah.
I'm not answering, right?
Nobody's in here.
Nobody's home. I don't live here anymore. Yeah. Perfect. All right, Dwayne. Well, thanks very much, sir. Much appreciated.
Thank
and
you.
Have a good rest of the night, my friend.
Thanks.
Thanks for sharing your insight. Well, a great play to end that inning, and a new pitcher coming in. This is Ryan Cross taking over from Doc Hospital, who had a solid evening. He only gave up a couple of hits and 1 run and had 8 strikeouts by my count. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strikeouts there. So all in all, a pretty good evening for the starting pitcher. But Ryan Cross, left-hander, will come in and take over as we head to the top of the 8th inning with the Lethbridge Bulls hanging on to that 1-0 lead. And the Gulls had a chance there. They had a runner in scoring position at third base, and a great play by second baseman Caleb Haney to snuff that out. And there you go. There's the quality of baseball that you're going to see so much here in the WCBL. No matter what team comes to town, it doesn't matter what their record is in the standings. These guys are quality ball players, and they love the game, and they're invested in the sport. That's for sure. And it's so nice to see in Central Alberta to see some really good baseball add to the flavor that we already have in this region. This is Caleb Haney. Doesn't that always happens? The guy makes a great play and then he leads off the inning. I'm not sure how many times. Guys should be keeping records of that sort of thing. I'm not sure how you could do that, but somebody will figure out. They'll get an app for it or something and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. And quickly, Ryan Cross is up 0-2 on Caleb Haney. Nick Gravel is on deck, and the catcher, Roger Riley, is waiting in the hole. And this is down left field line, and it drifts foul to remain at 0-2. And Dwayne's hanging around, but I won't let him talk anymore. You can talk. Well, if you want to talk, if you want to hang around and talk, you can. But, or you can just watch the game, enjoy it. This is a pretty good view up here, isn't it? It's a great view, I know. And a swing and a miss there, and a strikeout for Ryan Cross. And another K goes up on the board, this time under number 27, Ryan Cross's name. This is the third baseman, Nick Gravel, who's walked in the first inning, and he's grounded out to the pitcher and grounded out hard to third base back in the 6th inning, or 5th inning, I should say. 1-0. Lethbridge leads this game, and that comes inside. 2-0 the count now on the Bulls' third baseman. I'll try and find those updated scores for you, and I'm going to have to refresh here. Hopefully we can get those scores for you, the out-of-town scoreboard. 3-0 the count now on Gravel. And he's taking all the way on that one. As we mentioned, the prospects beating Regina Red Sox 12-1 earlier this evening. Bottom of the third, they were in a rain delay out in Moose Jaw, and the Weyburn Beavers with a 2-0 lead over the Moose Jaw Miller Express. Top of the 8th inning, right here, we are 1-0 Lethbridge over the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Bottom of the 4th, the Medicine Hat Mavericks and Swift Current 57s have forgotten how to play defense, and they are because here's the score. This is grounded to Ethan He fires it across the base, across the diamond, I should say, over to first base. And Kyle Freilich, by the way, is now in at first base. I just noticed that as he turned around. Lots of changes out on the diamond. We'll try and catch you up on that. Medicine Hat and Swift Current, 7-6. Medicine Hat here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Okotoks leading Fort McMurray 6-0 in the top of the 7th. This is Roger Riley. And First pitch strike to Ryan Riley. Jake Finkelstein warming up in the Gulls bullpen after his debut as a pinch runner. He's probably I wonder how many times he's done that. I'm going to have to ask him after the game, because he looked kind of surprised to be there as a choice. But yeah, coach has his reasons for choosing him, so I'm not going to argue with him. His baseball knowledge is far more vast than mine, that's for sure. 2-1 the count now to Riley, who is 0 for 3 on the night. A couple of ground outs and a fly out to center field. The clouds are staying away, and I don't mind that. And a swing and a miss there to even the count at 2-2. 2 down here in the top of the 8th inning. Ryan Cross taking over for Stephen Hospital. I'm going to just give everybody the same first name, and I'll never get it wrong. And a swing and a miss there, and a strikeout to end the inning. 10 strikeouts on total for the Gulls pitchers this evening, but they just can't seem to get a run across to tie up this game. But we'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. We have Chase Rodriguez, Ethan He, and Michael Pollard are the scheduled batters. Stay tuned.
For helping us out this season. So the golf cart we have down here at the entrance. For those who need extra assistance getting to and from their vehicles here in the ballpark.
If you do need some extra assistance or some extra time, just let one of our volunteers know. We will use our Adrenaline Motors golf cart to get you to and from your car safely.
Now on the mound and warming up for the Lethbridge Bulls, the new pitcher is number 15, Blade Strelzik.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Gulls trailing the Lethbridge Bulls 1-0. This has been an absolute pitcher's duel here, and we've got a new pitcher out in there for the Lethbridge Bulls. That is number 15, Blade Strelzik.
Now batting for your Sylvan Lake
And that's Kyle
Gulls.
Freilich stepping in to face
Number
Strelzik.
3,
He's taking
Kyle
over at first
Freilich.
base for Jake Lamont. Or actually, Chase Rodriguez was at first. That's right. Jake Lamont was the designated hitter tonight. And Freilich takes that first pitch for a strike. And my thanks once again to Dwayne Lawler for sharing his time with us this evening and giving us a little insight. And hopefully his daughter gets the phone call and not the knock on the door to say that she's made the softball team, Canada's national softball team. This is out to second base. That is Caleb Haney once again showing his glove. I still can't get over that play he made to double up Jake Finkelstein over at third. That was impressive. That's the type of baseball you're going to see out here, though, folks. You come out to a game or you're watching on the live stream here, doesn't matter. You're going to see some good baseball. And this is Ethan He. Stepping in. He fouls that back against the screen. Yeah. Another little foul ball over to his right. One down here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The clock is ticking on the Gulls bats. They need to wake up. Somebody set the alarm. pitch misses high. 1-2 the count now on the Gulls shortstop, who's had a 0 for 2 night with a strikeout and a flyout to deep left field that Hunter Porter had to he had to get on his horse to get back to the warning track to make the catch, and then he turned around and made it look like, oh yeah, I do this all the time. There was a little adventure in that fly ball out to left field, and the wind's picking up now too, so things could get a little serious out there. And this is a little squibber up to the pitcher's mound. Strelzik up with it and over to first, and the Gulls are down 0-2 now, or down two outs now. And this is Michael Pollard, who's had a single back in the 3rd inning, and he walked back in the 6th inning, but nothing has amounted to anything for the Gulls tonight. They've just been shut down completely by the pitching staff and the defensive abilities. Some really good plays out on the diamond by the Lethbridge Bulls. And that's fouled out of play by Pollard. And nobody's leaving. Everybody's sticking around, and there's a called strike. 1-2 now on Pollard from Mission Viejo, California. And a swing and a miss and a strikeout there for Strelzik. And that brings the 8th inning to a close. No runs on no hits, nobody left on base. 1-0 Lethbridge leads this game in this pitcher's duel here on a Saturday night at Pogattle Park, Gulls Stadium. We'll be back with the top of the 9th inning right away.
All right, fans, time to pull out those Avesta Energy 50/50 tickets. I've got your winning number. You can see it on the screen. Tonight's jackpot, $4,370, goes to winning ticket number 1884. 1884. If that is your number, congratulations. You have won. And if that is your winning ticket number, you can go over to the Gulls Gear Store. Hey, we got it right here. That's always good to see. You can head over to the Gulls Gear Store. They will hook you up and make sure you enjoy this Saturday night a little bit sweeter.
Now batting for the Bulls, the right fielder, number 12, Kyle Turner.
Kyle Turner steps in to face Ryan Cross here in the top of the 9th inning. And he looks like he was going to bunt. And I'm not sure what happened on that one. It looked like he made contact with that because it hit the plate. But anyways, it's a ball. 1-0 the count now on Turner. Cross comes in with a strike there, a little off-speed pitch, 62 miles an hour. That's about as fast a pitch as I could ever try and hit, somewhere in the 60s. Don't turn that 6 upside down because I'll never see it. Even in my best days, I couldn't see that. 1-2 the count now here in the top of the 9th inning. Stephen Cross is just picking up or Ryan Cross. God, I'm going to keep saying it. And this is grounded. Simpson up with it over to Freilich at first, and they record the out. He's picking up just where Doc Hospital left off, keeping things in check. But it looks like this might come down to the bottom of the 9th inning once again, like last night. This is Hunter Porter, the left fielder.
Now batting the left fielder, number 11, Hunter Porter.
And a swing and a miss on the first pitch for a strike. They got Polson, Cleary Simpson, and Kyle Frelick are the infielders. Matty Fung, Michael Pollard, and Keaton Zeroni are still in the outfield. Ben Prediger taking over a catcher from Matthew Carrata a couple of innings ago. And 0-2 the count now on Hunter Porter. Trying to get the crowd going here and get some support in there for the Gulls. Both teams with just 3 hits. And a called third strike there. Hunter Porter is shaking his head as he walks away. And Ryan Cross is quite happy with that strike, and it adds to the strikeout total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Ks on the evening between Ryan Cross and Doc Foster.
Number 4.
This
Noah
is the
Rodriguez.
center fielder, Noah Rodriguez, who is a name you're going to want to remember. This kid's got a lot of skill. He's actually come out of his shoes on that one. I think he was trying to give that, get it to a 2-run lead with the one swing of the bat. And an interesting observation there by Dwayne Lawler about how some of the Gulls players are maybe trying a little too hard to get the ball out of the park here and get that tying run. And that misses everything. It missed the batter, it missed the strike zone, and it missed Ben Prediger, and it missed the umpire. It went right straight through everything. So 1-1 the count here. Ryan Cross on the mound for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, taking over from Doc Hospital, who had a great night. Just didn't get any run support this evening. 1-2 the count now. We are in the top of the 9th inning. The Bulls holding on to that 1-0 lead. That was scored back in the 3rd inning, as Tyler Vivier came in to score on the base hit from Roger Riley. And a strikeout, another strikeout. Let's make it 11 strikeouts on the night now. And 2 down here. Oh, I'm sorry. That was, I didn't mark the other strikeout. So there you go. That's the 3rd out of the inning. Rodriguez goes down swinging. We are headed to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Gulls need to get a run to send it to extra innings. 2 runs will send everybody home. We'll have that for you
folks,
after
here
this.
we go. Heading down now, and I don't know about you, but I could go for a Next Source Power home run right about now. Next Source Power is powering every Sylvan Lake Gulls home run this season, and now would be a great time to see it. Fans, we are getting down to the wire here. Let's get the boys going. Go, Gulls, go! Go, Gulls!
Pagano Park. 1-0 Lethbridge leads this game. We are down to well, the last 3 batters that the Gulls can send to the plate, one of those 3 has got to do something here. This is Matty Fung leading things off, and he squares the bunt and takes that for a strike. And it looks like no, that's Nick Gravel still at third base. I thought they had changed their third baseman. He got him moving on that pitch, and he's got him now playing in on the infield, on the just about on the artificial turf or the grass, the artificial grass. I remember when that came in the Major League Baseball, and Philadelphia's Phillies slugger Dick Allen said, "If a horse can't eat it, I don't want to play on it." Dick still played on it, though. And Matty Fung takes a good grip at that one. 2-2 the count now. And this is Devin Benavides coming in. He's the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Lethbridge Bulls. Max Benton had a beautiful night. Didn't give much. Didn't give up had a called 3rd strike. That inside pitch, that has been called all night by Darren Dakinder. Sometimes maybe it's a little wider call, but he's been fairly consistent with regards to that. So this is Caden Zeroni, who was the hero last night with the game-winning hit. Can he do it 2 nights in a row? We're going to find out. He's got to face Devin Benavides here with 1 gone in the bottom of the 9th inning. And that pitch comes inside at 90 miles an hour for ball 1. The rain has held off. I think that big cloud that was off to my right has since gone past us. This is popped up into, well, about shortstop. That's Tyler Vivier making the catch, very casually making the catch, and a tip of his hat to his teammates. 2 down now for the Lethbridge Bulls. They are an out away. This is Cleary Simpson, the last hope for the Gulls to get something going here. And Cleary, not known as, I guess, a home run hitter, although he had the home run last year. But mind you, that was it. He had the first home run of the Gulls franchise, and I guess he figured he'd done enough as far as hitting home runs. He did have a pretty good batting average up in the 300s, though. But struggling at the plate this year, and I'm sure he's not too happy about that. 1-1 the count right now, with 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Gulls trailing 1-0. And a swing and a miss there, 1-2. They are down to their last strike right now. It has been an absolute pitcher's duel this evening. We are just over 2 hours as far as this ball game is going. That doesn't happen very often. And he misses inside and low with that pitch. So the count 2-2 with 2 out. Something needs to happen here, or we're going home, and we'll call it a night. And time called by Cleary Simpson, and you can see by the picture that the wind has picked up, because that camera out in center field is, well, it's giving quite a shake. And that is squibbed down the left field line, but foul. If that would have landed in, there was a double for sure. Fans are, I'm not sure if they're quiet because they're don't want to jinx anything, or they're hoping. That misses inside. Full count now on Cleary Simpson. And if he gets on base, this will be interesting, because a guy who can certainly put the ball out of the park, Tyler McWillie, is on deck. And Simpson grounds that slowly to second base. Haney up with it, and Simpson beats it out. Great hustle by Cleary Simpson. That is, that could be the game changer. He should get more than one gummy. That's for sure. That was great hustle, beating out that slow roller to second base, Caleb Haney. I'll get it right. It's coming. But that puts a base runner for the Gulls as Cleary Simpson gets the base hit, and that brings up Tyler McWillie. And we know that Tyler McWillie, who had quite a few home runs, and I had him pegged for about 20 this year. He says I jinxed him. I don't think I did. I hope I didn't. If I did, I take it back. Because if I can throw the jinx on, I can take the jinx off. So I'm taking the jinx off right now. We'll see if that works. Without hope, you'd have nothing. And I started with a lot of nothing, and I got plenty left. Bottom of the 9th inning, 2 down, man on base. Talk about drama. Tyler McWillie at the plate, who can end this game with one swing of the bat. And I think probably Coach Chatwood would like to see a base hit maybe into right center field, because there's quite a gap out there. He could. Cleary Simpson has some pretty good wheels. Oh, he was trying to win the game on that swing. He did not leave anything in the dugout with that one. 1-1 the count now on McWillie. Cleary Simpson probably going to stay close to first base. I don't think he's going to try and steal. And that pitch comes inside for ball 2. Cleary Simpson over at first base. He is the tying run. The Gulls trying to make something out of this. They've got the players in place that can do some damage. McWillie sends this sky high. Third baseman Nick Gravel can't find it, but the shortstop Vivier comes over, makes the catch, and that ends the Gulls' hopes, and that ends the game here at Gull Stadium. The Lethbridge Bulls with a 1-0 win over the Sylvan Lake Gulls. That is, it was definitely a pitcher's duel tonight. And Ty McWillie not too happy about that at bat. He probably saw the pitch that he wanted, and he tried to give it a rip and ended up just popping it up. So that closes out the game for the Lethbridge Bulls. They pick up the win, and well, the Gulls need to get their bats working. They need to do something. I'm not sure. I can't remember what movie it was. Major League, when the guy was from Cuba was sacrificing chickens and rubbing stuff on his baseball bat and everything else. They may have to do that, but we'll slip it over to our host out on the field there, Jared Waldo. He has the Snap Fitness Player of the Game tonight.
Host Jared Waldo.
Thank you very much, Joe. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Snap Fitness Player of the Game, selected by Jim Claggett and Cale Clark from HomeTeamLive.com, our Gulls broadcast crew. Standing here with tonight's starting pitcher, Stephen Doc Hospital, 8 strikeouts from Oakville, Ontario. Talk about there wasn't a lot of offense for either side. Your performance on the mound, just talk about what you were seeing out there tonight.
I think my stuff just felt good today. My defense worked hard behind me, and yeah, unfortunately, nothing could fall offensively, but yeah, we had a pretty good game today, I think.
I think good game for both sides. And when you're a pitcher on the mound, you're not seeing a lot of offense from both sides. Do you just continue to do what you do, or are you just hoping that something gets out there and then you can kind of settle in a little bit more? Although tonight seemed to be going well for you as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just keep pounding the rock, take it pitch by pitch. Like I said, defense kept working hard, and yeah, just took it pitch by pitch, inning by inning, and yeah.
And tomorrow, here we go again, one more time against the Bulls. What do you see for tomorrow?
Yeah, hopefully we can just get the bats going a little bit more. Stuff will fall a little bit more in the field, and take the series tomorrow. So yeah, we're pumped.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Snap Fitness Player of the Game, starting pitcher, 8 strikeouts tonight, Stephen Doc Hospital. How about a round of applause for your Gulls Player of the Game? Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thank you.
All right, folks.
If you're so inclined, before the rain comes down, it's time for our pure orthodontic
All right, well, there's a wrap. There's your Snap Fitness player of the game was Stephen Doc Holliday, 8 Ks on the night. He only gave up the 1 run, but that's all the Lethbridge Bulls needed tonight was 1 run. The Bats need to get going for those Sylvan Lake Gulls. They know it. We know it. They're going to do something about it tomorrow afternoon. These two teams meet again tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock here at Gull Stadium at Pagato Park. For my absent partner, Cale Clark, and I thank you for my step-in partners, Hector Rodriguez from Las Vegas, and of course, Central Alberta's own Dwayne Lawler for stepping in and helping carry me through this ball game. And of course, my thanks to the guys in the truck, Calvin and Blake. Much appreciated, guys. You kind of make me look good. I mean, you can only do so much, right? Putting lipstick on a pig. That's kind of the saying that comes to mind. Anyways, we'll do this again tomorrow afternoon. We'll see you then.